Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above when they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, ass need to stop and ask you to profit. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed it up for parole. Because of the COVID, it feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know that it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and know boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to walk with step. I'm solid for show to the fake niggas. Stay silent, I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no loss, I ain't no token when we got the flow. I ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pass through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby so below to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Therefore will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. A minute, yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, yeah. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, thank you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them, I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them kills, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life for foundation we erecting. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh by Shemal Shah Thumb, Yahweh Shemal Thumb by Shemal Shah, Preaching Officer Amawanga Bar, Tuesday night brotherhood class, ISUPK, under Commander Hunter since 1969. We've been teaching the truth that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is a chosen people of God, and the white man is the devil. The Bible speaks of. Let's clap that up. Yeah, well, tonight's class, what we're going to talk about is from a garden to a wilderness. Because you got to understand what happened, you know, like how did what the earth was supposed to be, which is a garden, when everything's supposed to be in order, and how did it turn into a wilderness where it's playing out really right now on your TV screen when you cut on the news and you see the white man is in charge, you know, and whenever the wicked gets in charge, stuff that's supposed to be going accordingly usually start to go out of order. And that's what you're seeing. That's what happened. And then that's what we're finna talk about tonight. Like real talk. I seen Hard Mar, I seen you did a class the other day, kind of concerning the Garden of Eden. I ain't really get to catch the whole thing. And all I can say is this class is like one of them situations to where, you know, you at camp speaking and you got a precept and a nigga bring out the same one before you, like, damn. Damn, what the hell? We just I'm telling you, great minds think alike sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if I could, we could start off in Genesis 2:1.
Come on, sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them.
Right. So now this is the creation period, you know, where now the Lord is finished with all of his creations, you know. And it said all the hosts of them. You know, people like look over that, and that's why people believe Adam and Eve is the first man and woman when that's not true. You know, everything was made in an abundance. You feel me? It was not no 20 years, one person, another 20 years, another person. No, everything was made at once. When he created animals, he created them all at once. The fishes all at once. All that stuff happened at once. People all at once. And now it's saying thus the heavens and earth are finished and all the hosts of them. That's talking about the people, the animals, all that stuff. You hear me?
It's like I said, if I may.
Hit the line. Yeah, go ahead.
If I may say, since you were talking about thinking alike, I was going to ask you to break that down with that host meant too.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody watching, you feel me?
Damn, most of that crap. Yeah, that's the host. That's exactly what that is. People, the animals, all that stuff, the fishes, you know, because he made all this stuff. Now he needs somebody to host it. You know, like how you host a party. You feel me? Somebody, you hosting a party at my house. You feel me? I'm the host. So in the sea, the fish is the host. On land, people, mammals is the host. The air is the birds. They the host. Real talk.
Verse 2. And on the seventh day, God ended his work, which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work, which he had made.
Right. So now he's done with creation. So everything is created. You hear me? Including the people. Now, if you could drop down to 15.
Come. the book of Genesis 2, the book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
Right. So now, out of all these people here, the Lord chose a man. You hear me? Because that's what the Lord do. Throughout generations, he chooses one man and he bees with that family of that man. You hear me? He chose Abraham and he was with Abraham's family. Isaac, Jacob, on down to the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what the Lord do. He don't deal with all nations. You know why? Because that would be disorderly. That would be what you would call wild, which is basically what wilderness come from. Come from the word being wild. And the Lord is not the author of confusion. You know? So he took the man and placed him in the garden of Eden to dress it, to keep it up.
Right.
You feel me? Organize it, keep everything in place. Put everything where it's supposed to be, like a garden. That's what a garden is. A garden is organized. You got the tulips over there, the roses. You got the cucumbers, the tomato. It's not all together, but it is like that if you go into the wilderness. And that's what's going on right now. The so-called white man has turned this place into a wilderness. It's not organized. The Garden of Eden. The Eden is another name that they call the earth. And Eden is the Garden of Eden is the Middle East. That's where the Lord put Adam at to dress it. That's why it's the Garden of Eden, because it's the organized part. It's the part that has order, which the so-called white man think he's doing. He think he's going around the earth and he's civilizing people when he's basically turning people's countries into wilderness. He think he's going around and he's playing God when really he's the devil. And what they always say, the greatest trick the devil ever played was, to make you think he didn't exist. That ain't in the Bible, but it's some old tales from blackity black folks. Real talk. We're going all the way to 17.
Come, verse 16. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat.
Right. Now, what he's talking about, this is he's reading the stars. That's how Adam got the knowledge of what he's supposed to do and what he's not supposed to do from reading the stars. They try to do it today. What they call themselves astrologists or astronomy, one of them. One of them is lawful, one of them is not. I forget which one it is. I think astrology, whichever one where they do zodiac signs, that's unlawful. And then the one where they just read the stars to look at the different constellations and galaxies, ain't nothing wrong with that. And that's basically what Adam was doing. He was reading the stars, getting the information of what he's supposed to do.
Verse 17. But the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it.
Right. And the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is the ways of the other nations, the philosophies of the other nations. It never said nothing about an apple. It's just talking about a tree. You feel me? Because this is about knowledge. And he didn't want him to know from the knowledge of the other family trees. The other families that was living around the garden. Because they was like a wilderness. And the Lord chose Adam to build with his family. And in due time, those people were going to have to submit to Adam's ways and his culture. But the problem is he never got that far. If you know the story of Adam and Eve, you can read that on your own time. He never got that far because him and his woman started to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A metaphor for that is like food for thought. Food for thought. Eating up knowledge and wisdom, and they ate up the wrong kind. And what was supposed to be a garden from the jump, organized, is now a wilderness. And they dropping bombs over there. The Garden of Eden is the Middle East. What they call the Middle East. That's why it's crazy how that's the only landmass that don't have a direct name. You know, every landmass, even America, which is supposed to be the new world, has a name. It's America. You got Africa, you got Europe, Asia, and then you got the Middle East. The hell is that? You feel me? Because that's God's country. That's what that is.
Thou shalt surely die.
Real talk. It's like, what'd you say?
So like, if in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Right, and that's exactly what happened. You know, family was destroyed. You know, because death, like I said, death is more spiritual than physical. And this is how we got here. And we've been fighting to get back into the Garden of Eden since then. You know, since then we've been fighting to get back over. There's been all type of heathens over there, and they turned that place into a wilderness. But some places it's nothing but desert. Grass don't even grow. You know, and that's where the children of Israel belong at, in what they call the Middle East, which is not even a real name.
Right.
You know, that's a direction. Like saying I'm from the Midwest. You feel me? What state you from? I'm from the Midwest. That's, you know, it sounds like you running game. You can't even say where you from. You just point to a direction. I'm from up north. Real talk. So yeah, you could drop that if I could, and you can go to Ecclesiasticus and Apocrypha. Where we at? 19 and 22.
Count. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19, verse 21.
22.
Like verse 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
Right. So the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. And Adam and us, because we the children of Adam. You feel me? From Noah, you know, all the way down to Shem, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. You feel me? We the ones that was chosen. And we doing the same thing all over again. And knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. But somehow we keep thinking being wicked and getting by, getting over is wisdom, and it's not. You know, just ask the niggas that's in prison. It's a gang of niggas in prison and in the graveyard that thought wickedness was wisdom. Because it was the fast way to get to where you wanted to be. It ain't no escaping, you know, God's punishment. There's no escaping it. And we keep trying to escape God's punishment by living wicked.
Verse 23. There is a wickedness and the same an abomination. And there's
wait, the end of 22. Neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence, right? It's no good judgment in the counsel of sinners. And that's what happened with Adam. Adam's woman was listening to a man that was not of the Lord. You know, that's why he was called a serpent, because he was a man that was of himself. You know, and you can never trust nobody that's just for themselves. Anybody that's just for themselves, you cannot take counsel from them. You cannot take counsel from sinners, because they're not going to give you good judgment. You know, they're going to tell you what they feel to try to get over, which is what the serpent did to Eve.
Verse 23. There is a wickedness and the same an abomination, and there's a fool wanting wisdom.
Right. So yeah, there's a wickedness and the same an abomination. You feel me? Wickedness and the same is an abomination. Like real talk. You keep going.
Verse 24. He that hath small understanding and fear God is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
Right. That's just like your Christian pastors. Feel me? Tell me the law is done away with. That ain't what the Bible say, and it's nowhere in the Bible. You know, but we keep trying to go around what the Lord wants, and that's the reason why this place is a wilderness. Because the people that the Lord chose keep trying to go around what He wants. The Bible say He did have small understanding, just a little bit of understanding. You just got a little common sense. You know, you ain't the brightest apple in the bunch, but you got a little understanding, and you fear God. You better than somebody that got a lot of wisdom. You feel me? Fearing God is better than somebody that got wisdom. Better than some college graduate that think he know it all. You better than them. Some woman that went to school for 10 years. You feel me? You better than them. And that's why we tell brothers all the time, when you go out here into the world to teach, don't ever fear nothing what nobody think, because you better than them. That's what the Bible say. It's like, hold on, wait. Yeah, that's what the Bible say. The Bible says if you got a small understanding and fear God, you better than all these people out here. Anybody, I don't care what type of money they got, what type of car they drive, what type, how good the bitch look. None of that stuff don't mean nothing to the Lord. You better than them if you fear God.
Verse 25. There is an exquisite.
Oh wait, Salakia, man. Hey, that's this chapter so heavy. This chapter so damn heavy, man. We started way too early though. That chapter is heavy. That's way too early. If I could, you can go back to 19. That's on me. But that whole chapter is heavy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just got you reading it and breaking it down. That ain't even what I wanted, but it was so heavy though. I'm like, shit, keep going, shit. Damn.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19, verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
Tree of good and evil. You feel me? The tree of good and evil, that's not the doctrine of life. That's the one the Lord said don't eat from. You feel me? The doctrine of life is following the Lord's way. If you want to end up in the wilderness, if you want to end up, down on your luck, then go ahead to that knowledge of tree of good and evil. And look what happened to Adam. You feel me? Look what happened to Eve. Look what happened to all of our family from the jump, from trying to go around what the Lord wants. Feel me? We supposed to be focused on the knowledge of the Lord, because that's the doctrine of life. Go ahead.
Come. And they that do things that please Him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Right. There you go with the tree again. Feel me? There you go talking about that tree. Feel me? Because that's what we supposed to be trying to do. We're supposed to be trying to get the fruit of the tree of immortality, that's just living a peaceful life. That's not talking about living forever and never dying. That's just talking about living in a peaceful life, because that's all people really want. It's all people really want, and that's what we're supposed to be striving for. But we ain't gonna get that if we ain't following the Lord's commandments.
Verse 20. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom.
Right. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom. That's it right there. You want wisdom, just fear God. Adam didn't fear God. Adam feared his woman. You want to know how the Garden of Eden turned into a wilderness? Because Adam did not fear God. He feared his woman. And if you fear your woman, you can destroy your family. Don't let that go over your head. Because I know people say happy wife, happy life, and all that stuff. But what I'm telling you, if you fear your woman more than you fear God, you're gonna destroy your family. Because the fear of the Lord is all wisdom. That's it. That's where it's at.
And in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
For the Christians in the back that's still reading the Bible but skimming right past stuff like this. All
And
wisdom is in the performance of the law. It's something you gotta do. You know, the law just saying you love Jesus is not performance. You know, that's something black people like to do. We like to perform. You know, we like to show out, but we don't never show out for the Lord. How you show out for the Lord? Performing the law. Because that's where the wisdom at. It's keeping the law, doing it. Not just talking about it.
And the knowledge of his omnipotency.
Right. And that's the omnipotence is the ability, the Lord's ability to do all things. You feel me? You want to understand the Lord. You want to be closer with God. You want a better connection with people. Say, where's the disconnect from the Lord? You ain't keeping the law. That's what a disconnect is. You want to understand the Lord's all power and ability. You want to get a little bit of wisdom of the Lord. You're going to have to perform the law. And all wisdom is the performance of the law. So if you're not performing the law, you have no wisdom. And there's your disconnect between you and the Most High. The same way what happened with Adam. Adam and them stopped performing the law. And they lost their power and their glory. That's what happened with Adam and Eve. They had the wisdom of the Lord. His all power and ability. They knew the understanding of why the Lord did this and did that. And then they lost it. It's like we're going all over to 22.
Verse 21. If a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleaseth thee, though afterward he do it, he angereth him that nourish him.
Right. So this is just talking about have a willing attitude. Regardless if you do it or not, you're supposed to have a willing attitude. If somebody tell you to do something and, you say you're not going to do it, but you end up doing it anyway, that's still disobedience to the Lord. The Lord wants you to have a willing attitude, because not having a willing attitude will lead to you eventually just not doing it.
Verse 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Right. There's no wisdom there. It's foolishness. It's stupidity.
And neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
Right. And that's where we started at, but that's where I really wanted to end at. But yeah, though, that's the truth, though. The counsel of sinners is not good judgment. There's no good judgment, you feel me, in the counsel of sinners. You ain't getting no good judgment from these wicked leaders out here, And that, once again, and that's why we living in a wilderness right now. Got all these different people living in one motherfucking area, all these different nations and religions and cultures. It's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be segregated. That's a garden. A garden is segregation, not integration. Integration is a wilderness. And that's how the earth became a wilderness, because it started in the garden. Once the garden got out of control, everything else got out of control. Because the Garden of Eden is supposed to control the planet. The whole earth is supposed to run off the Garden of Eden. Like a well-oiled machine. All right, so you could drop that. I could if you can go to Numbers 14 and 30.
Count. The book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 30. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun.
Right. So when we was coming out of Egypt, we had people that came out of Egypt that should have died there. Harriet Tubman said if she could have freed more slaves, if some of them knew they were slaves. So we had people that came out of Egypt that really wanted to stay in Egypt, just like America. We're gonna have some black people. They not gonna want this place to be destroyed. They're not gonna want to confess that they're Israelite. They're gonna confess that they are American, and they fine with that. And during this time, we had them same type of people that was doubtless. And the Lord said they cannot come into the land. They cannot come into the land. And that's why out of everybody that came out of Egypt, they died in the wilderness, except for Caleb and Joshua. And the reason why he didn't kill Caleb and Joshua is so Caleb and Joshua can tell everybody else what happened. You got to put yours on mute. There's a lot of feedback.
Nah, it's like I wanted to say something real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me, or is it still a lot of feedback?
Nah, it's feedback, but go ahead. If you got to say something, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that that's heavy you say that too, because I seen a video on Facebook today where this black it was like a bunch of different black army people talking about how they love America, and if you don't like America, you should go to another country.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That go most of them right there is in the army. Because to even get in the army, you got to love America. You got to be either financially broken, which most people are in America, or you got to love this place, or it might be both, because it's a lot of ways to try to make some money other than joining the army. So to want to join the army, yeah, that's rough. Real talk. Especially if you're a black man after what this country then did to black men, hanging them in they damn army suits, sergeants, captains, not even just like motherfucker that shine the boots. I'm talking about captains and sergeants. They hung in they Vietnam War uniforms. Real talk, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, if I could, that back to what we was talking about that, the Caleb and Joshua was the only ones that were saved, so they can be able to tell the younger generation about what happened. Like the OGs in the hood, how they tell you, like, man, it used to be like this. We used to have that. We used to go up here. We used to do this, and it wasn't like this back in my day. Caleb and Joshua were saved for that reason. So they can tell the younger generation, like, look, this what happened to us back in Egypt. They was hanging us. They was killing us. They was making us work for free, sun up to sundown. They was killing the boys in the river, like real talk. But the generation that came out, they was against Moses. And that's why we wandered for 40 years in the wilderness. So they can die off, have a fresh young generation that was ready to go take the kingdom. We're going all the way to 33.
Verse 31. But your little ones, which you said should be a prey, then will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised.
Right, that's basically what I was saying. Like the little ones, the children, you feel me, that y'all think is going to be a prey. You think they're going to die out here. You think we brought them out here to die. They going to be the ones that's going to come see the kingdom. The land that y'all despise, y'all don't even want to go to. Y'all want to go back to Egypt. Y'all want to go back to Walmart and Kroger's and Target. You don't want to go to build our own Kroger's and Target and our own Walmart, our own infrastructure. Y'all want theirs because you was just so comfortable. Well, y'all gonna have to die off. And then the little ones, the children, they gonna be the ones that come into the land and raise it up.
Verse 32. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness.
Right. And as for you, your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness. You feel me? And you know what that wilderness was? That was the same wilderness that was supposed to be a garden. You feel me? That was the same wilderness that was supposed to be a garden, but it's a wilderness because Adam turned his back on the Lord. Adam turned his back on the Lord, and the Lord had to rebuild, start all over again with Noah. You feel me? And then all them people, they died coming out of Egypt, crossing the Red Sea, right outside of our homeland, which they could see. 7 nations more mighty than me. Ain't that what they said? They said it's 7 nations over there more mightier than us. The Amorites, the Hittites, the all kind of different nations of Africans. In our land, they was living, building. They had civilizations in our homeland, and we sitting in the wilderness because the Lord want these people to die off. He want to make sure every last one of them die off before it's time to go take it. And that's exactly what happened.
Verse 33. And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms.
Right, and bear your whoredoms. They sitting here bearing all the shit that's going on in this wilderness because of y'all. You feel me? Because of y'all whoredoms, they gonna have to be punished for it. They gonna have to live in this wilderness for 40 years before it's time to go back to where we was promised because of y'all whoredoms.
Until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness.
Right. So that was the whole point. That was the whole point of the 40 years in the wilderness, because the Lord wanted all them people that was not with Moses to die. You know, wanted all them people that was not with Moses to die. I don't know what type of Lord y'all serve, but that's the living God, the God of the Bible, the God of heaven and earth. That's what he did. He freed them out of Egypt, killed the firstborn of all the Egyptians. And then when they came out of Egypt and they did not want to serve under Moses, they had to go. He had to get rid of them too, because that's the type of God we serve. You feel me? You want to be rebellious, you want to buck up against the authority, the Lord will kill you. Like real talk. That's what he'll do, because it's getting real. You know, the white man had turned the whole earth into a wilderness. And it's about time for that shit to be over with. It's about time for that to be done. So if I could, you could drop that. We can go to Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament, 10 and 5.
Count. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler.
Right. And that's a fact. That's what's going on right now with Trump. With Trump, the Queen of England, the King of France, president, whatever you want to call it, the Prime Minister of Iran. That's what's going on with all these nations. You feel me? They are in error. You feel me? They in error because they all evil. They all living in wickedness. You feel me? Because none of them are the chosen people of God. The chosen people of God are not ruling. That's why the earth is turned into a wilderness. The earth is turned into a wilderness because God's chosen people are not ruling. This whole country, the whole world is in error right now. The Middle East, Europe, Asia, it's all in error right now. We haven't even seen the benefits of the Lord. You feel me? The benefits the earth have that the Lord then blessed us with, we haven't even seen it because it's been hidden, because it's nothing but wicked rulers. None but wicked rulers running the earth, because none of them are the children of God. You can't name me one Israelite that's running the country. It's not one. You can't tell me one country where the Israelites are the first class citizens. Not one. And that's evil under the sun. Real talk. So we're going all the way to 7.
Verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place.
Right. Folly, which is foolishness. You know, foolishness is set in great dignity, which is honor. You know, if you foolish, if you wicked, you a criminal, you get great honor. You get great honor in this place. Ain't that what they said? Well, Denzel, who was that? Jadakiss? He said Denzel had to be crooked before he took it. You feel me? He played Malcolm X. He couldn't get the Oscar. Played Lonzo on Training Day. Got the Oscar. Real talk. That's what happened. Because we live in amongst a people where foolishness and crime is set in great honor. You know, they promoting it left and right. This is not a garden. That's not organization. You know, it's not organized to teach the children to be in folly. It's how you get honor. You know, to be foolish and a criminal is to get honor. That's what the kids learning. I know that's what I learned. Growing up watching Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood, everybody want to be Doughboy and Old Dog. And they ain't even had no money. It's just the way they was propped up. That's the place we living in. And it's funny, hold on, wait, before we even finish reading this verse, John Singleton, that wasn't even his point. He broke that shit down when he was young as hell, when he first made them movies. Feel me? We talked about that on our podcast a minute ago. I remember that. And he said that. He said, I ain't make them movies to prop up Old Dog and Doughboy as, you know, this is what you should be. He did it so this is what you shouldn't. But you know, the way Hollywood spent it and the way they glorified them characters, they knew that it was going to make young black boys want to grow up and be Old Dog instead of not wanting to be Old Dog, which was his point.
And the rich sit in a low place.
Right, like the serpent in the garden. That's why he was called the serpent, because he was low down, dirty. So that's what the rich people do. They sit in low places like a serpent, slithering around on their stomach. You know, because that's the only way they can stay rich. You know, that's why I say living. If you rich right now in this kingdom, yeah, you probably low down and dirty. You know, the white man probably got his hand in your pocket. If you out here making a little bit of too much money, that's all I'm gonna say. Now I ain't talking about the people that's 100,000, 250. I'm talking about these people out here that's making an absorbent amount of money, and you don't know how this is possible. You know, they don't have really no W-2s or no tax forms to prove this. It's probably because they sitting in a low place. They doing something dirty and grimy. Because folly is set in great dignity.
Verse 7. I've seen servants upon horses.
Right. Servants on horses. You hear me? It's white people riding around in Maybachs, flying in jets, private jets, yachts, helicopters, you know, from building to building. Feet don't even touch the ground. And the whole time they the servants. You know, these Arabs riding around in Bugattis in Abu Dhabi, living in all glass houses on the 30th floor in a skyscraper. These is servants, man. You know, and that's why the Lord got them sending nukes at each other. They sending bombs at each other left and right because the Lord is tired of these people. The Lord is tired of seeing servants sitting on horses.
And princes walking as servants upon the earth.
Right, and that's talking about us. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we the princes. And we the ones walking as servants. You know, we walking as servants. Because the wicked, they the ones is in power right now. And the Lord is tired of it. The Lord is tired of seeing us at the bottom. You know, on welfare, begging for change, you know, job to job, Section 8, low income. The Lord is tired of that. You know, but you have become so comfortable in America, you're not tired of it. You're not tired of it. You're actually comfortable. That's the thing about it. That's the thing about most blacks and Hispanics. You actually are comfortable in your predicament. The situation you in, most black people are comfortable. You know, because black people, Hispanics, we are human beings, unlike these other races of people. So us just getting by, being able to feed our family, we cool with that, but the Lord ain't. And thanks be to the Most High, we got a God. Otherwise, we'd be here for another 1,000 years. For another 1,000 years, we'd be sitting here comfortable, being princes walking as servants upon earth. Real talk. In this wilderness that the white man have created. And you could drop that if I could. Let's go to John chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 12.
Okay. The book of John, chapter 3, verse 12. If I have told you earthly things, and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things?
Right. So this is when Christ was talking to Nicodemus, one of the Pharisees, I believe. Because he wanted to know about the kingdom. And they couldn't understand the same way most rich black people don't understand us. Because we too spiritual. You know? That's the first thing. We too spiritual. And they too carnal. They care about what's they can see, touch. What they can see, what they can touch, what they can taste, what they can hear now. When we are spiritual, when we talk. And they couldn't believe him because they was thinking about how do we make the kingdom right now? How do we get there now? Because another thing is they didn't believe in reincarnation. So because they didn't believe in reincarnation, they thinking that the kingdom is somewhere you go. Same way the Christians think right now. They think you gotta die to go to heaven. You know why? Because of the white man made you believe that. The white man made you believe you gotta die to go to heaven. While he's sitting here snorting all the cocaine, all the fentanyl, having sex on Epstein Island, you feel me? Building up skyscrapers left and right. And he tell you like, look, but if you want to go to heaven, you gotta die. But I'm gonna just have my heaven right here, right now, doing whatever the fuck I want. Like real talk. And they just couldn't understand. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the white man's such a disgusting bastard. They not only having sex with children on Epstein Island, they out here sleeping with animals, deers, and dead bodies and shit.
Right. Real talk. And they had to make a law for it to stop them from doing it. Otherwise, they would keep doing it because it wouldn't be no law. Just like when they was crack epidemic, they didn't have a law because it was coming back as baking soda. So they had to come up with a law. Otherwise, niggas would get caught with a whole jab of rocks and could go away scot-free. So they had to make a law to have them stop having sex with animals and corpses. So they was doing that shit left and right, like real talk. Yeah, that's not a human. That's not a human being. And of course, I'm talking spiritual because we're spiritual people. I'm not saying they like a zombie or alien. I'm just saying that's just not nothing you should do. They do stuff that a human being shouldn't do, or you would think they shouldn't do.
Verse 13. And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven.
Right. So no man ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven. So this caught him off guard because he just didn't understand at all. Because he like, hold on, wait. You feel me? How is that gonna happen? You feel me? He didn't understand this at all. But what Christ was basically telling them is that a man got to be sent from God. You feel me? If you want to be in a heavenly state, because the kingdom of heaven is gonna be on earth. You feel me? Hey, ISUPK, could you get that one? It's I think it's Revelations 5 and 10.
Revelation. Actually, I have a question on this too. After this, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Revelations what?
5 and 10.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 5 and verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests.
Right, kings and priests, because that's what we are, kings with an S. Because we all will be kings in Christ's kingdom. Because we all gonna have rulership in different places that we're gonna be the king of, and priest, which is a teacher of the Lord, doing the Lord's work.
And we shall reign on the earth.
Right, and we shall reign on the earth. And that's what Nicodemus and them didn't understand, because they did not even believe in reincarnation anyway. You feel me? But it was always taught to the disciples, shit, if they could understand the Old Testament, which they obviously couldn't, because it's in the Old Testament as well. You feel me? That we're gonna reign on the earth. The kingdom of heaven is not gonna be in the sky with the Most High, but that's just some fairy tale that people just wish could happen. You know, they wish they can go up and sit next to the Lord and have a good old conversation. You know, and that's what Christ is not trying to, he's not saying that, but he don't get the explanation anyway. He's telling him no man have ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven. You got to be sent from the Lord if you want to be in a heavenly state, because it's on earth. It's not in the sky with God. Being in heaven is on the earth. But if you want to be in heaven on the earth, then you got to be with God. Or you got to be with a man that was sent from the Lord.
Even the Son of Man, which is in heaven.
Right, and that really confused him, because he like, nigga, I'm looking at you right now. How the hell are you in heaven? And the reason why Christ is saying he's in heaven is because he's with the Lord. It's just that simple. This black people talk. You feel me? He's with the Lord. The same way if somebody happened to be at the right place at the right time, you would be like, thank God. Like, what you thanking God for? I the one did it. Because the Lord sent me. I'm with the Lord. That's why you said, thank God. And that's basically what he's trying to explain to him, and he still don't get it. Real talk. Asap, you said you had a question about something?
I think I actually answered my own question, Slocky.
Yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, though. So and that's what you got to understand about this. First of all, a man got to be sent from the Lord. You feel me? A man has to be sent from the Lord for everything to get right. You know, you got to be following a man of the Lord for everything to get right. Otherwise, we're going to keep serving these servants. These heathens, the so-called white man, these Arabs, they are servants. They weren't sent by God. You know?
So
they weren't sent by God. And that's why Nicodemus is wondering, how do we get into heaven? And Christ is basically explaining to him how, nigga, that shit's here right now. Like, real talk.
Okay, so Salaki, sir, maybe I can't ask it for just like for battling purposes, like with a dumb Christian. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how Christians will say that well, how should I put this? Like Enoch, how he I don't think the Bible says ascended to heaven, but Enoch didn't die.
He said he was translated.
Translated. Okay, so maybe that's my question. Like, what's the difference between translated and ascended? What's the difference?
Right. Enoch did die. You feel me? I just think it don't record his death. That's the only thing that get people jammed up about it. But Enoch did die. He didn't live forever. You know, Enoch he definitely didn't live forever. And he's saying extended. See, you gotta go back all the way up to the top where he was talking about the kingdom of heaven in this verse. This chapter was talking about the kingdom of heaven. You feel me? And what Christ was telling him, you got to be born again. And he was like, he was thinking you gotta be born. He thought you got to be born back into your mama's stomach. And then that's when Christ just started breaking it down. You feel me? About getting into heaven. And it's not a place you go when you die. When you die, you sleep with your fathers. That's why this whole breakdown started happening, because he's just trying to explain to him that, nigga, if you want to get into heaven, first you have to be sent from the Lord. Feel me? And we was reading about that earlier, that you got to keep the commandments if you want to be in the Lord's good gracious. You got to be keeping the commandments first, which they wasn't. You know?
So if somebody even brought up Enoch for this right here, they're just retarded.
Yeah, they just over stupid. You feel me? Because matter of fact, do you got that scripture
with Enoch?
Yeah, because that when they say he was translated, that's not even it is not talking about this. That's two different things.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Because when he was translated, I think that's when he was just went up in a chariot. That wasn't talking about this right here. This he's talking about getting to the kingdom of heaven. This whole chapter that we read right now is he's asking, he came to Christ trying to see how do we get to the kingdom of heaven. Not like just up in the sky. You feel me? And that's what Christ was trying to break down to him. Like, nigga, first you got to be born again. You feel me? First you have to change. You got to change your heart, first of all.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I said, like, I think I answered my own question. But yeah, I got it right here if you want me to read it.
Yeah, you go ahead.
It's Hebrews 11:5. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God.
Right. And of course, when they say he did not see death, that's just talking about people. There's no record of it. You feel me? There's no record of him dying. Like you got records of King Saul and David and Solomon. There's no record. You feel me? He was just translated up. You feel me? In a chariot. And that's just because he pleased the Lord.
So basically, he didn't have a heart attack like a lot of black men do today.
Right.
He ain't getting a car or a chariot wreck and decapitate himself.
Yeah, he didn't get robbed and killed.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's another precept to prove that is the one in Psalms when they say you are the sons of God, but you're gonna die like men. You know, how do men die? Like all the stuff we just named.
Right.
Mankind dies from horrible deaths. Feel me? And Enoch didn't see that. He didn't get to see that type of death. Feel me? He didn't get to see his son killed by his other son, like Adam with Cain and Abel. No, it's all spiritual. All right, Hallmark. You could drop that one in John. If you can go to Exodus 7:1.
It's like I just looked up the word. So basically, translated just means being translated or divinely transferred from one state or place to another.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just went up in a chariot.
Right.
That's all that happened. He just went up in a chariot. He didn't go to the fourth dimension with God and sat there forever. Nah, hell nah. If King David didn't do it, I'm for sure Enoch didn't. I think David would have been the first one he would have wanted that to happen to. But David, he died.
Even the second translation says transferred or conveyed from one place on earth to another to escape violence aimed against him.
That go your answer.
Okay.
There go your answer. They ever asked you about Enoch going up to heaven? That definition was your answer right there. Read that again if you could.
Transferred or conveyed from one place on earth to another to escape violence aimed against him.
Escape violence aimed against him. So he didn't see the death though, did he?
Right.
Whatever was supposed to happen to him, he didn't get to see it because he escaped it. He was translated. Real talk. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's heavy right there too.
That's crazy. That's crazy if they looking at it like that. They really want to go smoke weed with Biggie and Tupac, huh? That's what you gotta ask them too. You gotta get a little corner with their ass sometime. Like, hey, you think your granny waiting on you? You think she's still smiling down on you and looking at you?
Right.
Out there. You miss your granny? What he's out there? My granny now.
Because don't even the Bible say like the dead they don't know you no more. They asleep and waiting to be brought back. Yeah. I'm paraphrasing kind of like what it.
It say they sleep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it say they sleep. You sleep with your fathers. That's exactly.
They don't know you no more. So how can your granny be up in heaven waiting for you, looking at you, and you know what I'm saying, things like that? When even the Bible says they sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know you. They don't mourn you.
Right, waiting on her turn to come back around. Real talk. That's exactly what she's doing.
So, like you said, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you really miss your grandma, you should learn how to make that sweet potato pie and honor her the right way.
Yeah, and then teach it to all your kids and the grandkids. So when she come back, she got that same recipe.
Right.
Real talk. Don't bury her in the backyard like what's dude's name? TD what? He went to the backyard. He said, "I miss my granny now." I forgot his name. TD Johnson, whatever his name, dude from Texas.
Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah, made that damn song. Real talk. Yeah, you gotta let that shit go.
Like, so you said Exodus 71?
Yeah, kind of.
The book of Exodus, chapter 7, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet.
Right. See, the Lord, he made us gods to these people, man. To these heathens that's running the earth, we are like gods to them. That's why they taking all the babies that's aborted, doing all type of research, stem cells and all that. They want to lock all the black men up in prison or kill them or have them kill each other. You feel me? Because we like gods to these people. You know? And the only way they can stop us from reigning over them if we die. You know? It looked at that slavery was too immoral, so they had to make it more sophisticated. They made it more sophisticated. Are we locking them up? We got to lock them up. They're criminals. Yeah, how they become criminals? They don't have any businesses. You're giving all the businesses to the heathens. You know, you stop them from opening up businesses and let the heathens get free tax write-offs for 7 years. Then they put it in somebody else's name and get another free 7 and another free and another free. When they don't pay taxes, they're not forever. Black motherfucker can't even barely pay the damn rent because he drowning in debt. Like we like gods to these people, man. And the Lord set it up that way.
Verse 2. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh.
Right, and that's the thing though. The thing about it though, while we not in a godly state in this earth, like we supposed to be to these heathens, it's because we not speaking what the Lord commanded. Nope, we speaking what the white man commanded. When we speak, we speaking what the white man want us to speak. Because if we don't, then guess what they say? Oh, that's hate speech. You anti-Semitic. When no, we just speaking what God speak. Everything we saying is straight out of the Bible. None of the stuff we say, no matter how much it hurt your Edomite heart, your pale-faced, red-skinned heart, you feel me? It's coming right out of the Bible. When we say the Lord hate the white man, it's in the Bible.
Right.
Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. It's right there. It's it's in black and white, what they'll say. You hear me?
Bars.
Literally too. It's in the black and white, literally.
Black and white. I'm just keeping
white
it
pages, black words. It's in the black and white, literally.
It's right there, and it says, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. I don't know what else to tell you. And it say as it is written, which means it was said in the Old Testament too.
Right.
Like real talk, that's crazy.
Verse 2. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send children of Israel out of this land.
And that's what I'm saying. We got to get out of this land. You feel me? The thing that Pharaoh, was it this Pharaoh? No, it was another Pharaoh before this one, if I ain't mistaken, because Moses was better get thrown in the river. I don't know. This could be the same Pharaoh if you do the lineage, whatever. But that's not the point. The point is, it was a. You say what?
It was that Pharaoh's father.
It was this Pharaoh's father.
They sent
it was Ramesses the second father.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I don't know how I forget the name Ramesses the second. How the hell I forget that? Man? Most of the time correct. A while. But yeah, he came up and said he don't know Joseph. You feel me? He said he don't know Joseph. And he said that matter of fact, can you get that? I ain't no point in paraphrasing. Really ain't no point, really. I hate when we be talking like people listening know some shit, Hallmark. We talking like people listening know some shit. Didn't we just read that earlier? You feel me? If you fear the Lord, it's more wisdom than the smartest person on earth.
You know exactly where it's at, or you need me to find it?
These people out here don't know anything. It's in Genesis something. Genesis 40, what is that? Like the last chapter before Exodus. So it might be the last chapter or the second to last chapter where he said he didn't know Joseph. Oh no, it's in Exodus. Exodus 1 and 8. Probably got to start at like 6 or 7 though.
So Exodus 1 and 8 through 22, or you want me to start?
No. You could just go to where he said he didn't know Joseph, and he said he wanted to get us up out of the land. It's 6, just 6 through 8, and that should be good. And we'll go back to the other.
Okay. It's the book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 6. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. Verse 7, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly.
Right. Hey, but notice how I say Joseph died and his brother and all that generation. That's the ones that came into Egypt, 70 deep. 70 souls came into Egypt, and Pharaoh said, y'all come in here, y'all get your own spot. And we became mighty though because we was having a lot of babies, just like in America.
And multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them.
Right, and the land was filled with them. So now we done overpopulating Egypt. You hear me? We overpopulate Egypt because another thing is we have more than one woman, so we getting multiple women pregnant at the same time. All kind of shit happening. You feel me? So we growing exceedingly. Go ahead.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Right now, a new king rose up that don't know Joseph, which means he don't remember the contract, you know, or the verbal agreement that the other Pharaoh had with Joseph. That's what he's talking about. He knew Joseph. Joseph made Egypt rich. Egypt got rich because of Joseph. So he knew Joseph. He's just saying basically like, I don't respect Joseph. I don't respect what that Pharaoh and Joseph had going on. You got to probably go to 10, Salaki. That's
okay. Verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out away, or like it falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemy and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what the so-called white man realized with us, that they had to deal wisely with us. You feel me? They had to deal wisely with us, otherwise we was gonna end up joining with somebody else, just like Jeff Ford did. Jeff Ford, he hooked up with Gaddafi and tried to commit a terrorist attack. You feel me? And that's why they had to deal wisely with us. You feel me? So we would never want to even join another nation. You know? And dealing wisely, it ain't just about the murder. Like, we've been spoiled in this place. Like, we so spoiled in this place that we wouldn't even want to join nobody else. We wouldn't want to go to Africa as a whole. You got a few people that try to go back, but as a whole, you don't have a bunch of black people trying to do a mass exodus to Africa, you know, or to Russia, or to, you know, what other country, Iran. It ain't a bunch of black people trying to do a mass exodus to another country because they so spoiled here. That's what it means when it's talking about deals wisely. It ain't just talking about killing them. It ain't just talking about putting fear in them. It's making them so comfortable to where they ain't gonna want to leave. You feel me? I'm gonna make them so comfortable here that they ain't gonna want to leave. I'm gonna turn the rich black people against the poor ones. I'm gonna make the rich black people convince all the other ones that it's better here. You know, to where when we got freed out of Egypt, we wanted to go back. Same thing gonna happen in America. It's gonna be a lot of black people that's like, look, I want to go back there because I was just so comfortable. I know, you know, we got Sandra Bland, we got all the police shootings, we got the lynchings, black people coming up missing. But I can go to Walmart every day and buy whatever I want. You know, I can get off work and cut on all my favorite shows and binge watch my shows. And I can go to the club and meet new hoes and have one night stands. We done got so comfortable here that most people ain't gonna want to leave. And that's what it means when it's talking about deal wisely with them. It ain't just talking about just, putting them in chains and all that shit. It's spoiling them to the point where they ain't gonna want to leave. Feel me? They ain't gonna want to leave. And that's what Moses was trying to tell Pharaoh, him and Aaron, that we need to go. You gotta let us go. Our time here is done. But they wasn't having it. They was not having it. Yeah, go ahead.
That's like with what was the American Revolution War with Great Britain?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of slaves that went to go fight with Great Britain, and that's where they got the second chorus of the national anthem. Why Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for the national anthem, because of, you know what I'm saying, all that shit right there. But then you also had a lot of slaves that fought for the slave master as well.
Yeah. Died. Yeah. Fought for the North, fought for the South. Yeah, hell yeah.
Even the Revolutionary War, yeah.
That fought, yep.
Fought a lot of slaves.
Gonna be free.
Yeah.
We'll free you and all. Yeah, hell yeah. But they done made us so comfortable in this place that most black people don't want to leave. You got a few that's I want to go to Ghana, and it's a handful of them.
Hey, like you said earlier,
be right back as soon as their visa expire.
Hey, like you said earlier, what Harriet Tubman say? She'd have freed more slaves if they just knew they were slaves.
Man, only if they knew it.
You know what I'm saying? Like only if so black people just knew they were still slaves today, they would be pissed off. You know what I'm saying? What the scripture say in Ecclesiasticus? Oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Yeah.
It said Ecclesiasticus 7:7.
Yeah, but that what you just said is that's the deal wisely. That's the deal wisely. I'm telling you, it's giving them gifts, promotions, putting them in situations. You feel me? Prominent situations, making prominent people. You feel me? That's why I say I'll never respect a black politician. You feel me?
Right.
For what you say, how good you sound. You feel me? You the type of person that's gonna make other black people more comfortable. You know, just like a black preacher, you gonna make people more comfortable. When it's time for us to get the hell up out of here, man. And that's what Moses and Aaron was trying to tell Pharaoh. Nigga, we gotta go. You feel me? That's why he say, an Aaronite brother shall speak unto Pharaoh that he shall send the children of Israel out of his land. That's another thing people don't know. Moses never even spoke to Pharaoh. Aaron did the speaking. He told him what to say. So yeah, you could drop that. If I could, let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 21.
Come on. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 21. For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead.
Right. Now this is talking about Adam and Christ, because what people got to understand, Adam and Christ is the same spirit. The same spirit that was in Adam was in Christ, the Son of God. You feel me? And when Adam came and hit the scene, death came. Death came into our family. And like I keep saying, not just physical death, spiritual. But for spiritual death, after a while, gonna lead to physical deaths. And by the first man, death came, and by man also the resurrection of the dead. Now the people that's dead spiritually now can be made alive because of Christ. So Adam made people die, and Christ is making people alive.
So like it says, that dead talking about like physically dead or spiritually dead?
Which one?
The dead right there at the end.
Christ. That's talking about Christ. When it
So
says
is
about
that the spiritual death or the
no,
like
that's Christ. Death? That's Christ raising the dead, the dry bones, like in Ezekiel.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, the dry bones, like in Ezekiel. Christ is now, he's the resurrection of the dead, which is the Israelites that's lost, scattered. You feel me? The Paul that was killing the disciples. You feel me? He was dead. All the ones that was living like Greeks, in Corinthians. You feel me? In Corinth and Ephesians. You feel me? All over the Greek islands and all that stuff. They was dead Israelites, spiritually. But now they being resurrected because of Christ. Because of Christ, now they can come back home. They can come back to the garden, which was made a wilderness. It's like we're going all the way to 22.
Verse 22. For as in Adam, all died.
Right. Because of Adam followed that woman, all died. You feel me? His family was torn apart. So where his son's sons started marrying heathens. And then the flood came and everybody died. And it started with Adam, Eve, and the serpent.
Even so in Christ shall all be made alive.
Right. So now all the Israelites, scattered Israelites that are not living like Israelites, they Americans, they Jamaican, Haitian, Mexican, they European. You hear me? They got all these heathen names they calling themselves. Now, because of Christ, they all could be made alive. Because if you're not serving the Most High in Christ's name, nigga, you dead until you start. You feel me? And it's just Christ fixing his mistake he made when he was out. That's all that's going on. That's all that's going on with us telling blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians You the chosen people of God, and the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. That's us just going out there to do the mission that Christ started, 2,000 years ago. Trying to bring back the chosen people of God to the covenant, to make them alive spiritually. Christ fixed his mistake. Now it's time for you to fix yours. He fixed his mistake. Now it's time for us to fix our mistakes that we made. When we didn't know no better, when we was tricked by the serpent. We got tricked by him too. All right, so you could drop that. You can go to 1 John 3 and 8.
Okay. The book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. He that committeth sin is of the devil.
For the Christians in the back listening on the low. Feel me? Christians watching the UPK class acting like they not. If you committing sin, you is of the devil. Whether you like it or not. Your personal feelings means nothing to us. If you committing sin, nigga, you of the devil.
For the devil sinned from the beginning.
He sinned from the beginning, from the time he tricked Eve into going against her man, because that's what they do. The devil is going to go to the woman to trick her. So now the kids are tricked. Now it's easily to trick a man now if he had no father. If all he had was a stupid ass mama, stupid ass mother listening to the white man every day, thinking the pastor is giving her some good ass advice. He ain't giving her shit neither. The devil sent him from the beginning.
For this purpose, the Son of God was manifested.
Right, the Son of God was made clear. You feel me? For this purpose, the Son of God was made clear because we were sinners. You feel me? And this is only talking about the Israelites because we was the only ones given the covenant. This ain't talking about white people. This ain't talking about the Romans or the white Greeks. This ain't talking about the Africans. They was not given the covenant. This is talking about Israelites. And this is why Christ was manifested. Feel me? Because we were sinners. And it was time for us to stop. It was time for us to stop following what the white man said to do. Stop following and living in lust. And whenever it's time, that's when the prophets is coming out. Whenever a kingdom is about to be destroyed, Christ is sending prophets out.
That he might destroy the works of the devil.
Right, this old beef. This beef right here between the Son of God and the devil, this is old as the Garden of Eden. You feel me? It's some old beef that's going on. You feel me? And Christ is trying to destroy the works of the devil. Instead of listening, you feel me, like he did to his woman way back then, everything is made clear now. You hear me? Everything is made clear. And that's what we out here doing. We trying to destroy the works of the devil. By teaching the truth. That's how you do it. How you counter the devil's work with the truth. Devil just means deceiver. So if he's winning by lying, then you counter that with the truth. And then you start fixing problems that nobody thought could be fixed. Because they was living in their flesh, living in their pleasure. All right, so yeah, you could drop that. Last scriptures we're gonna go to. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 2 and 42.
Count. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 22.
2 verse 42.
Oh, slack. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 42. I saw upon Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praise the Lord with songs.
That's a fact. That's what's gonna happen real soon. A great people, you hear me? And sitting on Mount Zion, which is the government of Israel. You hear me? Mountain, that's just talking about governments. And that's what we fighting for. Black, Spanish, and Native Indians. Feel me? And the ISUPK and the Commander Hunter. That's what we fighting for. We fighting to be a part of that government.
Verse 43. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than the rest.
Right now, this is a vision he's seeing. You know, he's seeing all of men, you know, singing the Lord's song, praising the Lord, and he see one man that's just standing out over the rest of them.
And upon every one of their heads set crowns, and was more exalted.
Right, and that's what's gonna happen. See, people be asking us like, "What's y'all point? Like, what are y'all doing? Why y'all in the UPK?" This is what fake Israelites say that sit at home and have they Passover in their house in the living room. You hear me? They feel like that they gonna make it to be where they get a crown put on their head by Christ, and that's not how that's gonna happen. You're not gonna get a crown put on your head by Christ. For time's sake, that's who that's talking about. So you're not gonna get a crown put on your head by Christ by sitting in the living room having Shabbat Shalom, you know, having Bible study at the library with you and your 7 cousins. You know, this Israelite group down here. That's what they do. They don't even want new members. They just go down to the library, have Sabbath, and then go home. You ain't getting no crown by doing that.
Not Shabbat.
You're not gonna get more exalted by doing that. You know how you get more exalted? By what we do. Going out into the streets and teaching. Going on the internet and teaching. You feel me? That's how you get more exalted. You're not gonna get it by keeping everything to yourself.
Which I marveled at greatly.
Right.
Verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, "Sir, what are these?"
Right. What are these? What's going on? Went all the way to 47.
Come. Verse 45. He answered and said unto me, "These be they that have put off the mortal clothing."
They put off the mortal clothing. What's the mortal clothing? Worldly behavior, worldly attitudes, worldly philosophies. What they called in the Garden of Eden fig leaves.
Right.
They took off the fig leaves. They took off the other nations' cultures.
And put on the immortal.
And they put on the Lord's culture. They threw away the mindset of Christianity and Islam, and they started to think about the laws and commandments daily. You know, how to keep the feast days properly. You feel me? Instead of worrying about Christmas and New Year's. They took off the mortal clothing and put on immoral clothing. Immortal clothing.
And have confessed the name of God.
Right. And that's what we do. When you do that, you confess the name of God for the Christians. For the Christians out there that want to know, how do you confess the name of God? That's how you do it. It's physical, Harmar. You feel me? How long the Christians always said that Jesus' name we praise. Amen. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And they think that's how they be saved. When that ain't how you be saved. How you confess the name of God is you have to put off the mortal clothing and put on the immoral. That's how you confess. It's just not something you say out your mouth. It's something you do physically.
Now they are crowned and receive palms.
Right. And now you crown and receive palms. You feel me? Now you like we talked about earlier, a nation of kings and priests reigning on earth. Now you crowned. You know, and now you receive palms. Real talk. That's what we in it for. Otherwise, shit, we need to be out here at the strip club this weekend. You feel me? If we ain't in it for that, then we might well just what they do that? They got the ass over. We going to the Passover. We might as well have an ass over. You feel me? With the bottle girls, and the sparklers. What the fuck? Nigga, we ain't in it for that, nigga. Then what the fuck are we doing? We trying to get crowned by Christ at the end of this, when it's all said and done.
Verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands?
Right. Who is doing this? Because he like shit. All he know about is the Most High. Now he know from reading the scriptures, it's a man coming. You feel me? But the thing about the difference between the prophets in the Old Testament and the New, that the ones in the Old didn't have Christ with them. You know, they didn't have Christ in their heart. You feel me? They just knew about a man that was coming. It was prophesied a man that was coming amongst our brethren from the tribe of Judah, one of the sons of David. But now he's seeing in a vision, he's seeing him.
Verse 47. So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God.
Right, it's the Son of God. That's Adam. That's Christ. You feel me? That's who that is. It's the Son of God doing it. He's crowning them. You know, because they stood stiffly for the Lord.
Whom they have confessed in the world.
Right. And how do you confess in the world? By taking off the mortal clothing and putting on the immortal. For the Christians that think you just got to say Jesus' name, we pray, amen. Walk around with your bucket hat on and shit. Like big ass dresses and shit.
Then began I greatly to commend them that stood stiffly for the name of the Lord.
Right. And the name of the Lord is talking about the reputation. It's not just talking about saying his name. Because the Christians truly believe that just confessing that Jesus is your Lord and Savior is the mission. When that's not the mission. The mission is taking off the mortal clothes. Taking off the Christianity, the philosophy, and serving the Lord for real by keeping the law. Keeping the commandments. Real talk. That's all I had on that. That's in this nice class. Hey, somebody got the security announcements? We got to read the security announcement.
Lies.
Nobody got them. All right, we'll get it next week. That's cool. All right, that's the end of tonight's class. What'd you say?
Oh, Slack, so you got it.
Good. All right. That's in this nice class. Tune in every Monday, Tuesday. Tune in Wednesday night for the podcast. You feel me? Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shop Rocket Thumb, Yahweh Shema Thumb.